Okay, so first up for the merry, merry month of May, we have the Belly Up EP by Moin, a sort of jazzy, mostly instrumental, alternative burst with fantastic percussion throughout. The drums on this remind me of the much lauded Yahweh Nailgun release earlier this year. It opens up with a very interesting spoken word collab with Ben Vince and Sophia-Al. A sort of ego-dissolving mantra is repeated hypnotically over the tight chaos. It's very Blade Runner.
Interlinked.
Interlinked.
Do you feel that there's a part of you that's missing? Interlinked.
Interlinked.
Do not look away from the nozzle. The second track, I'm Really Flaggin', has a very ominous "I trusted you" vocal sample, and this very gritty sax that is bursting out and constrained simultaneously. Moving on, we get a variety of synth swells and other textures over just top-notch drumming. The drumming, really makes this EP. It drives me crazy how people are content with boring drumming most of the time. Like, listen to this EP and then stop slapping boots and cats over everything. Like, sometimes boots and cats is the right thing to do, but usually not. It's nice to hear some really good percussion on this EP though, so if that's what you're looking for, you found it. 6.7 cells within cells, interlinked out of 10. Up next we have, hold on a second. Emma Goldman is back and she's pissed. This new record, All You Are Is We, love that title, is some fierce skramz with a lot of fiery, neatly executed, and varied sounds. This record both gave me a headache and ASMR tingles, so respect for that. Personally, my favorite heavy music has always been something that goes up and down in terms of intensity, or if it has long-standing intensity like this record, it breaks it up and gives you some contrast, right? Because you need the contrast for the heavy bits to be effective. And not just effective, but also palatable for posers like me that wear earphones.
Wrong answer.
Earplugs at concerts. Only you can prevent yourself going deaf. When I want something this intense, I want its opposite as well, because they are interdependent. They are interlinked. All You Are Is We. There's a lot of anger, suffering, and intensity in this record, ranging topics like dehumanization in the workplace, austerity, addiction, shit-faced bedwetting. We get some dancey techno. We get a little bit of intimate spoken word interlude. And I bet these folks kill it live, right? You hear a record like this and you just think, they've got to kill it live, right? Like, that's the vibe they're giving. So I would give this record 6.8 wet mattresses out of 10. Everything is Computer by Hex System, better known as Umami, right? Hex System, the music project. Umami, the psychedelic animation project. If you've seen his animations, it is essentially the kind of music that soundtracks projects like the scrawling, surrealist masterpiece that is Interface. But if you haven't seen it, it's some relaxing, creepy synth tunes. Music to crash out to, darkwave, melodic techno type stuff. Everything is Computer, it's true. This thing has a naming convention that I imagine will act like a time capsule of sorts. You'll see what I mean. The track listing reads as follows.
Everything's Computer.
I'm not supposed to be here.
The end of the night gets
Big guy, the biggest in the world.
every one of you will be gone.
Gambling with World War III.
This is an island surrounded by water.
The late great Hannibal Lecter.
We love you and we'll remember you always.
Everything's gone except the palm trees.
So I give this 6.3 Kofifis. No. 6.3 shape-shifting clown worms out of 10. Musical Chairs by Artificial Go. This Cincinnati indie pop post-punk type act is back with some pleasantly stilted and mildly angular post-punk dancey tracks. I assure you this is high praise, but a lot of the lyrics feel like the kind of thing you would make up walking around your house. I don't want gold. I don't want yellow. I don't want periwinkle. Nobody has a red convertible. I want to drive a red convertible.
A bunch of baby ducks, send them to the moon. Soda machine that doesn't work, send them to the moon.
I do think the vocals are what pull everything together to this galvanized, hypomanic, rambling outburst, but the instruments are very interesting as well. High, trebly guitar, walking this indie pop post-punk line, crisp, tight drums, and the bass undergirding it like that tasty lick on red convertible. It's good. It's good. I'm going to give this 7.2 New Wave Lady Chads out of 10. Up next, we have an interesting conceptual dark ambient record, Atrium Omnes by Nick Balmer. The title track, first half of this thing, comes in with a metronomic, arpeggiated, modular synth line, and these very unnatural, digital, German broadcast textures fade in and out with these dense waves of electrical powers. Washing over you, cresting, breaking on top of you. And the artist statement challenges us to maintain a critical distance from the music, to understand it as a performance, as a falsehood, a representation, as shadows on Plato's cave. It represents the media landscape as a whole. Creepy, unnerving, distorted, and even with this call to pay an active attention, it is entrancing. Interlinked. The second half of this record is called Die Große Methode, or The Great Method. This is a phrase that Bertolt Brecht came up with to coin this idea of paying a sort of active, analytical attention to theater and opera, I guess. But, you know, in here, it challenges us to take that idea and kind of apply it not only to ambient music, but to the media landscape and this sort of digital world that we live in now. If you try to pay an active attention to this record, it will repeatedly get you kind of forgetting that and just living inside the music as you try to maintain a distance from it. Ambient music is inherently environmental. It creates an environment. Ambient blurs the borders between feeling and song especially. That is its specialty. So trying to maintain this critical distance is both difficult and fun, and provides like an active listening experience. It reminds me in some way of meditation, or like maybe the opposite of meditation for you, but it gives you an understanding of what it is to sit at a distance from something and what it is to be enveloped in that thing. Not that I'm some expert on meditation or on Brecht. I really don't know about him, but this album makes me curious to learn more. Apparently, he wrote Mac the Knife and Whiskey Bar like a century ago, so probably a pretty cool guy. Anyway, I'd give this record 6.5 electrical powers out of 10. Up next, we have a soundtrack, Meet by The Marion. Some darkwave synth tunes that provide tonal setting for Meet, a psychological horror short film exploring abuse, trauma, transphobia, and objectification. I'm recommending the short film more so than the movie, and if you like the tunes in it, then check out the album, because you know what you're in for. Since this is more about the short film than the album, it doesn't lend itself to the regular rating system. I give this an indeterminate amount of mystery meat out of 10, since it is as much or even more of a film than an album. While we are on the subject of vaguely music-related short films, the recently released Chaser's Delight, the movie, features the band Chaser's Delight attempting to film a music video and getting into all kinds of wacky green screen, stock footage, paper mache, CGI, and MS Paint adventures. Little preview for you.
I double dog dare you.
That's 2 dogs.
I think these two would make a good double feature, honestly. A little horror and then a little palate cleanser. We need to get this is like Barbarella? No, Barbenheimer. Leave your double feature portmanteau suggestions in the comments, please. And I will link both short films as well as all the music that I talked about below. But first, like, subscribe, let me know what you think of these releases, and if they were cartoon characters, right, who would they be? I think Everything is Computer would be that sentient Magritte painting from Interface, but only in the shots where he kind of looks like Mike Lindell.
Hello, everyone.
We have the president here, our real president, everyone.
MacronShow.com, bitches.
I guess that wasn't...